Hello and welcome to day one of our January challenge 2024. Welcome to the new year, and we have a beautiful piece for you this year, provided so kindly by Ayla Lynn Jones. This is a piece called Midnight Lullaby from her forthcoming book, Hygge Serenades. Hygge, as you may know, is the Danish art form. I think of it as an art form because I think it's something that's worth practicing. It's about creating an atmosphere of warmth, of well-being, coziness, where you feel at peace and able to enjoy simple pleasures and just being in the moment. And I do think that this gorgeous piece that Ayla has so kindly given us absolutely fulfills that feeling and captures that for us. So I'm going to start by playing you the whole piece, and then we'll go in and look more closely at what we're going to look at for our first day of this challenge. Isn't it beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. So we are going to start today by actually looking at the first 8 bars. I often just do this in 4 bars, and a lot of what we'll go on to after today will be 4 bars, but I wanted to give you the whole of the full opening phrase because it's just so beautiful, and the first statement of it is very gentle, lots of space, and I feel like we can definitely handle that in one day. So first thing I'd like to introduce you to is some of the left hand patterns that come in with this. So we're tuned into the key of F, which means we have a B flat set. Everything else is naturals. And our first shape that we're going to go for in our left hand is an F and a C with our fingers 4 and 2, and then reaching our thumb up to the A. I often refer to this, whereas the octave and a fifth I think of as one of those, it's so popular and common. This is like a stretched out one of those where our thumb has gone to the A. Now if you notice in the music, there's a G in between these notes, between the C and the A. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a hop with our finger 2. So we play the finger 4, we play the finger 2, and while we're nicely still anchored on, we then allow our finger 2 to hop to the G. We can play our G, and then we can play our thumb. Okay, and you'll see in the music there how that's been shown with the sort of 4-2, then the dotted line between the twos kind of showing the hop there. Okay, so if we try that a little bit more in time, first of all we want to think about approaching and opening up and trying to land on all three of those at once, so that it's not this and this and this, but opening up, thinking especially about the thumb, just letting that open up. Notice how my other fingers are now just dangling down in a relaxed way, not sort of tense and up, but nicely relaxed. Then we play the 4, 2, hop, 2, bit of time, and then we finish off with a beautiful thumb bent over the top there, just to really complete the shape, complete the sound, make sure that our thumb isn't harsh or sticking out for being quieter than the rest. By completing that move and bending the thumb beautifully over the top, it fits in with the full soundscape that we're making there. So that's our first core pattern, which does recur later on in the piece as well. So it's a really good one to have. In bar 2, similar size shape. Now we're having an A at the base or a thumb on the C. So A and E, thumb on the C. This time there isn't any hop to do, so we're going to go 4, 2, and then we're going to let finger 2 come to the A, play the C, and then we can play the A that we've placed. So there is a hop, but it's not being played in that order. 4, 2, move it to place, but play your thumb first. Okay. Then we have a lovely pattern. We're going octave and a fifth, one of those, so B, F, B. So just a nice size shape there, no extra stretches. And we're going to cross under with this. So we play the 4, we play the 2, cross under to the C, play that thumb, and then allow it to open back up, coming nice and high onto the D. We can play our C, and we can play our D. So putting that one into its flow, B, F, B, it would be B, F, B, C, D. Lovely. And then the final one on that line, opening up, octave and a fifth, just one note down from where we were on the A, E, A. And lots of time for this one because these are crotchets, so it would be A and E and A. Okay, so those are some key shapes that we have. Going into bar 5, we're doing the same as we did in bar 3. So we have the B, F, B crossing under. Bar 6 we have the same as we had in bar 2. So we have the A, E going to the C, hopping to the A for us to come down to. In bar 7 we just have an octave placed, G to G. We won't place the D yet because we're heading up from this G to this G first. So we play that G, now we can place the D, ready to play our thumb. We play the D, and then we have C, E, C, G, C, another octave and a fifth. Okay, so a couple of choices on fingering there. You can do as I just did, where I just did the G, G, D, and then I just hop, move my whole hand to jump into the next place. But alternatively, if you were wanting to place a little bit more, personally I'm okay with the space there, but if you want to place a bit more, you could play the 4. You could then put your 3 and your 4. You put your 3 on the D, play the finger 3, and your 4 is already there, and then you just open up. That's another option for the left hand. I think you can potentially get in a bit of a tangle if you place too much there, but that is an option that works. So those are all the left hand shapes. So a lot of repetition, but in different places. So just being comfortable with those different size shapes and being able to open up to whichever one is required at the time. Okay, then we have our beautiful melody soaring above all of this lovely rippling underneath. We start up on an F and an E, so 1 and 2. So again, think about bringing that hand in, just opening up onto those 2 strings up here. We have the F, we play that, and then we play our E, and then we're going to come off. So that very first note is with a thumb. Let's make sure it's not weak, doesn't get lost. You know, if we just play it without real meaning, it can just be a little bit, ooh, where were we? Let's really make that effort to bend it over. And then we can bend that finger 2 in and get a nice closed hand. And then we can just open it up, and we've now gone down a step. So we're now on the D and the E. We play the D, move it to the red, and we play our thumb. Lots of time. And there's so much time here, you might want to release the hand a little bit, just let go of any tension it's holding. And then we're going to put 3 fingers in a row, B, C, D, so going through our red. We're playing upwards, so we're going to go B, C, D, and again, beautiful thumb, allow yourself to come off, and then we can reapply our fingers onto the D and the C. Okay, let's just try that now in time, just that first line, and just on that melody hand. So thumb on the F, finger 2 on the E for starters, and I'll give you a count of 3 to come in. I'll break it up a bit, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 3 and 3 and 3, 2, 3. That's it. So we're using all that space to get ready into the next notes, to be allowing the hand to open and relax, and just letting that melody ring out and sing out, really. Lovely. Okay, let's have a little look at that with a bit of left hand underneath. Okay, just this first line. So we have the F and the E. I'm a big believer in getting hands together fairly soon, as soon as you comfortably can, rather than building a pathway for your left hand in your brain and building a pathway for your right hand in your brain, and then coming together to do hands together, which might need a different pathway again in your brain, not just trying to travel across 2 separate pathways. So getting to the hands together point fairly soon is brilliant. So in this shape we have the F and the E in the top, and our left hand is opened up to that stretched out shape, so F and C, put thumb on the A. Okay, they start together, and then as the finger 2 in our left hand is going to hop to the G, that will be with the finger 2 up here. Okay, so if we just play that, and then I'll talk you into the next bar. So 1 and 2 and 3 and hop. Okay, doing that left hand, hop, so that you're ready to land on that G with the finger 2 at the top hand. Let's just try that again. So nice relaxed arms coming up and falling into place. After count 1 and 2 and 3 and. That's it, and then lots of time to get that thumb. Now while that's happening, we can actually be thinking about moving our top hand to the D and the E. And then there's not a huge amount of time comparatively getting our left hand ready, but we've just finished on an A, and we're opening up to an A, E, C. So we're not miles away in terms of the thumb, and in terms of that A can be your clue. It's going to be an A in the bass. Okay, so we'll try this first bar going into the second bar now. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and. C's landing together. There you go. Did you remember to place into that A? Well done. Keep an eye on your shoulders. Remember, we're doing this from this lovely, cosy, comfortable place. This hygge sort of feeling. So let that tension fall away from you as you release your shoulders to allow that to drop away. Let's give that another go, and then we'll move on. Okay, here's our count. Got F's in both hands. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Brilliant. Next bar, it's B's in both hands. B, C, D, 3 in a row in the top hand. B, F, B in the left. And our left hand is thinking ahead how it's going to cross underneath. So the left hand's going to do that B, F, B, C, D. Okay, so if we go straight into this part, and actually if we look ahead for a second, after it's done that, the left hand will step down 1 to the A, E, A. Okay, in the top hand we go B, C, D. Then we're back on the same strings with the top 2 fingers, the 1 and the 2, to finish with a D, C. So see if we can try these 2 bars. Bar 3, here's our count. 1 and 2 and 3 and. So that C lands with that bass A. thinking calm thoughts, not a big panic jumping from here, not stressing and moving, just really beautifully calm and straight into that shape, closing that hand up each time. Okay, so we'll go into bar 5 now. We already know what the left hand's up to. Top hand, B, C, D, and that's linking with the B's in the bass hand. I'm going to talk you through the right hand first though. So in bar 5, we have the B, C, D, which was just like bar 3. Then we're going back on exactly the same notes with the top 3, but adding our 4th finger, and we're going to walk down just one steady beat at a time. So D and C and B and A. Then we're back walking up with 3 fingers, the B, the C and the D, different rhythm this time. We're going to play the B and C and a bit of time, getting the C ready to go back to, so that we can go 1, 2. Okay. You'll notice there that it hasn't been overlapped with the placing. So coming down from this D, you can try and put all those back on before you play the 4. I don't know if you can hear that I'm creating a bit of a buzz as I try and do that. It isn't allowing that to ring out, whereas if I let myself come off and then back on, I can do it much more neatly, more controlled, and the notes have had a chance to ring out and resonate in the meantime. So that's a place where we're going to allow our hand to place downwards and come off, and then back on, going upwards in a controlled, neat manner. Okay, so that's what our top hand's up to, just walking up and down around this B, C, D, bringing in an A at one point. Left hand underneath was the B pattern, the one where it crosses under. Then our A, E going to C, and back down to A. Then we have our G octave, adding in the D on the way back down, and that D is leading us to C. Okay, so in our idea of getting our hands together as soon as possible, I'm going to look at bar 5, line 2, trying this hands together now. Both hands are linked to the B, so we have the 3 in a row in the top hand, the B, F, B in the left. And remember, in our top hand, after we've gone up, we're going to go back on with all 4, we're going to walk down, and then we're going to go back on with 3, and then back on with 2. Okay, heading up and down. All right, so hands together. Left hand, after it's done this pattern, is going to open up to the A, E, C one. Okay, here's our count. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Top hand goes back on now, left hand on G's, taking us back to the C. Good effort, let's try it again. Okay, keep focusing on it and keep breathing. Okay, let those shoulders drop away from your ears. Bar 5 again, line 2. Here's our count. 1 and 2 and 3 and. One of the things you can do in the left is you can practice block placing to start training your hand to start moving there before you're consciously thinking so hard about the notes. So the beginning of bar 5, we're here, and then we've ended up there. The next bar's here. Bar 3 of that line, so bar 7, is G octave, and then the final bar is C. So you can sort of train your hand up. B shape, A shape, G octave. Oh, notice how we're walking down a step at a time, and then up to the red C. Okay, brilliant work, well done. So what we'll do, if you join me on the play along videos, I will put all of that together at a couple of different speeds for you. Okay, I am playing it even in my initial playthrough, more slowly than Eira herself plays this. But that just highlights and shows that it is always down to your individual interpretation of how what it means to you and how you want to play it. So if you want to take it faster, you can. If you want to let it be mellow and slow and really relish all the notes, that's beautiful too. There's a responsibility in doing it that way, whereby you need to make sure every note is beautiful, but that's always a great aim anyway. So join me and I will see you on the play along videos, and well done.